Seven Rivers Sports. I'm your host, Terry Erickson. Each week, we bring an inside look into sports, into wellness, and into fitness. Well, today, we celebrate, we honor, we pay tribute to the Aquinas Blue-Gold Volleyball team. What a great season. Our guests today, Bri Ebenhoe, Megan Mazzola, and Danielle Dolan. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you.
Coach, who would have thought back in August when you were beginning practice that you would have ever accomplished that? I mean, I know everybody has goals and so on. Did you think that?
I thought we had a good shot. We had a very experienced team, a great core group of senior leaders, and they made this their goal, and they've been working so many years for this. I thought we had a good shot, but you can never tell, so I was really happy when it came true.
Well, I know you had an abundance of talent. You had good leadership. You had good seniors. They paid their price in previous years. And, of course, a lot of success is attributed to the off-season. Years ago, there wasn't a lot of off-season. Now there is.
Yes.
And you did a lot with your team during the summer.
I do a lot with my team during the summer, but I have to give credit to many members of my team, especially the seniors. They play winter ball, and they get a lot of touches with very experienced coaches in the area to be just as good as they are. So it's a year-round sport for some of these kids, and it really showed. And
Megan, a senior, player of the year in the conference. I look at the paper on Sunday, and all-state. All conference. I mean, everybody has dreams, visions, goals. You accomplished about everything. What a successful year for you and a successful career.
I feel like that really wasn't the goal. Like, the personal goals aren't really my goal. It's like the team goals, you know? And like going off of that really just leads to like the personal goals. And I've had that since I was even in middle school, elementary school, watching my sister before me. And just like seeing all that she accomplished, and it's just really fun to like work at it and accomplish all those goals. So
she was the inspiration to you accomplishing all those? You watched her and you thought, someday I'm going to replace her?
Actually, yes. Yep. And she was player of the year her senior year. So I always kind of just push myself, like I want to be better than her. So that's really like a good base to go off of.
And of course, sitting next to me, Danielle Dolan. Saw her many clips on TV, saw her in person, saw her on TV being interviewed after that terrible loss in state. But Danielle, you've accomplished a great deal too. All state, all conference, on a winning conference championship team. I mean, you are you're somebody that other young people look up to because you paid the price to get there.
Yeah, I think it was really, I kind of wanted to prove myself. I think after sophomore year, I really learned a lot about being a good teammate. And I think kind of going into my junior year, I really wanted to push myself to be a leader and kind of step out of my comfort zone and just kind of prove myself. And then going on to my senior, I think I really just wanted to become an even better leader and just help carry the team and just be a good teammate. And I think, like what Megan said, just the ultimate goal is just the team goals. So I think the little personal goals are just kind of a little side note, but
really spoken like a true champion. She deflects her personal accomplishments for a team. That says a lot. But you have really set the stage. You have built the culture in your 7 years as head coach. 151 wins. This year, 14-0 in the conference, all the way to state. First team in the history of Aquinas Volleyball to get to state. First team in the history of the MVC that accomplished as much as you've accomplished. But you set that culture. Give us an idea. Give our viewers what the Aquinas culture is all about.
The Aquinas culture really came from the girls. The first few years that I had the team, these girls were like sisters to each other. As a matter of fact, a couple of sisters would play together on the team, and they just developed this family culture where everyone supported everybody, and they really wanted everyone to do their best. They recognized if we wanted to achieve our goals, it wasn't just going to be because of one person or two people. So they all had to work hard. They all had to support each other and be completely there for their teammates, and these two are the absolute epitome of that.
A lot of coaches try to do that, though, Bri. A lot of coaches get into the season and that's their goals. And it falls apart. There's drama, there's selfishness, there's all kinds of things that disrupt the goals. How have you been able to create such a successful program?
We have really strong relationships between the coaching staff and the players and the senior players and the younger members of the team, and it's a case where we can go and have honest conversations with each other of these are our expectations and goals, and we expect this kind of behavior and this kind of effort and practice, and if we're not getting that, those honest conversations come out, but ultimately everything comes back to the team and our goals.
High expectations,
yes. Define
their roles, these are the parameters, this is what's expected of you.
Yes.
Now, go and do it. Or we'll have a little talk behind the woodshed. Is that how it works?
Yep.
Yes.
Describe, from a player's perspective, what's special about Aquinas? What's the culture there for those that maybe don't know that are watching this show?
I think Aquinas, especially in being a smaller school, we all know each other. Like, I'd be confident in lining up everyone at our school and being able to know their name and probably like one thing about them. So with that, like, we become really close as like a family, like Coach Bri said. And especially like with a smaller team like this, we can all come together and be friends. And like the senior class especially, we've always been really close, especially us 6 seniors on the team. And so we really know that we have to like bring in the underclassmen and just try to mix everything in and be friends with them as well.
Now, Danielle, every school has their strengths and weaknesses, and they all try to build cultures, and they all have certainly things that are special about schools throughout the country. Is there something that you could put your finger on that's maybe different about Aquinas?
I think what sticks out to me the most is the amount of pride that we all have. I think every time one of the other seniors, Shannon, she would say this, like, just putting on that jersey every time, like, I think that just really was really special to us and just representing our school really well. And I think the amount of pride that we have in our school, like, we're not just representing our team, we're representing our school, and we're representing them as a whole. So I think that's really important to us.
Now, you're a two-sport athlete, and you've played sports since you were young. I remember watching you when you were young. Give us a sense of what you look for in a coach. What's your ideal coach? Forget the fact that Bri's sitting there.
I think I like to be pushed, and I like to be challenged, so I think that I've always looked for that in a coach, and I think she's definitely done that, and I think a lot of the coaches I have done that to me, and I really like to be challenged, and it makes me better as a player, so I really look for that.
So, well, it's just a good coach is a good teacher. In the classroom, you want to be challenged too. You don't want to just be on easy street.
Exactly.
Do you? You want to rise to the occasion and go to boundaries that you didn't even know you could cross and climb to. You've had a lot of coaches too. I know, growing up playing youth soccer in particular, and you do some coaching, both of you yourself. An ideal coach that you'd want your kids to play for example?
I think what Danielle said is pretty accurate too, but adding on to that, just being approachable and knowing that you can go up to your coach and tell them if you have issues with what's happening on the team or anything else, and just knowing that they're going to be there for you and help support you in the end.
And Bri, we talked about your success at Aquinas, and it's documented. And of course, that success started when you were younger and you played, and you've coached at the elite levels and developed your own style. And how has that helped you, and how have you changed your style over the years?
Well, when I started coaching, I really wanted to be like the coaches that I had, and one of my coaches at Aquinas was Kevin Schreiner, and he was approachable, he communicated well, he pushed us, challenged us, like Danielle said, and I really kind of wanted to bring that style to my volleyball program now. I've had to find ways to do things, that worked for me, but overall, I wanted to become a coach that would challenge my players but would still have those really close relationships so that our goals and our team ideals would be first and foremost for the program.
Well, you've accomplished a great deal, but there's a lot ahead, too, because you're not just resting on that, because you're going to keep going and keep building that Aquinas team so that you continue to perhaps dominate the MVC. By the way, the MVC has a lot of good athletes and a lot of good coaches, so was that a defining moment going 14-0?
It was something I wasn't sure was possible in the MVC with all those tremendous athletes and great coaches and programs. Every night was a battle in a different way. And, you know, to go undefeated like that, it shows the courage of this team. It shows the determination of this team to put their best out there every single night. So I was really proud of them for that.
It was defining moments in your conference schedule, Megan, at all? Was there an opponent that really inspired you?
I think every year going against Unalaska is a big game for us because we're kind of like rivals with them. Like we have the lacrosse city rivals, but Unalaska is our big one, I think. And especially we know some of the girls on the team and we're good friends with them. So when you compete against your friends, you want to work even harder and like beat them by even more.
Which player that you can reflect on in the MVC really you looked at as inspired you and was really a successful, aggressive player?
I'd have to say, out of any of the teams, I think Emmy Davis is I think she's really inspiring because she cares a lot about the game. We both got to play with her, and she's really showed us that like she loves volleyball, and she's really passionate about it, and I think that's really inspiring to see someone who loves the game that much.
Yeah, like you do.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Exactly.
we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna talk more and salute the best team in the area by far, high school volleyball, the Aquinas Volleyball. We'll be right back.
LASIK surgery at Mayo Clinic Health System.
Well, I was very nearsighted. I couldn't see 3 feet in front of me without things being blurry, so I had to wear glasses.
We screen patients. We try to make sure that they're appropriate candidates for LASIK, that their prescription is within the range, that it's reasonable to do it, that they have a good understanding of what they can expect, that they have a good understanding of what the benefits are and what the risks are.
For more information on LASIK surgery, contact Mayo Clinic Health System.
At Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, we have assembled a championship team
who listens to what your needs are.
We install carrier comfort systems that improve the comfort, efficiency, and the air quality of your home and workplace.
We serve you with highly trained technicians who are prompt, friendly, and honest.
For Gold Star treatment, turn to the experts, Carrier and Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning.
Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, your comfort is our business.
Welcome back to Seven Rivers Sports. Again, the spotlight today on Aquinas Volleyball. I'm sure you read about them. Best team in the area by far, 31-5, 14-0 in the MVC, went to state, an awesome team. Our guests, Coach Bri Ebenhoe and Megan Mazzola and Danielle Dolan. Well, of course, part of being a coach is being a teacher, Bri. And, or Bri,
Yeah.
being a teacher. And you are a successful teacher, and of course, teachers and coaches kind of goes hand in hand, right, Bri?
Yes, it does. I love teaching. I love being in the classroom and working with students on science primarily, but coaching was a natural extension of that for me. I love studying the game, and I love teaching the game to my athletes.
Yeah, and of course, and you're involved. Your curriculum is a very difficult area with something that scares a lot of people. It just shows your dedication to academics.
Yes, I teach physics, and that's what my undergraduate degree is into, and I love the challenge of looking at life like a puzzle and finding out every bit of information I can and finding solutions.
Who really inspired you as a teacher and a coach? I mean, you talked about Kevin Schreiner, but did you always want to become a coach?
I wasn't really sure about coaching, but I always found myself volunteering and being at camps and assisting back at Aquinas when I was in college. And before long, when I got my first teaching job, they said, you know, what about coaching? And that was the first time it actually crossed my mind. And I said yes, and I've loved every second of it.
And Megan, your resume certainly shows your commitment to academics first, athletics second, all MVC academically, a standout at Aquinas in sports and in the classroom. Talk about your commitment to dedication to the classroom.
Mm-hmm. I think ever since a young age, my parents have always instilled in me that school comes first and sports do come second. And it's actually true because if you don't do good enough in the classroom, then you won't be able to play. And I know with our team, we're all focused on academics. A lot of our teammates have been honored with the academic team. And before practice, we'll always be doing homework and stuff together, and so it's a team idea.
And of course, Danielle, too, academic all-conference, and you put that first. I know because your career, you're pointing in the direction where you need to use those skills you have academically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think, as Megan said, my parents have always just kind of made the point that, like your school needs to come first, and I think I've always I've known that too, that my academics need to come first because I need to do well in the classroom and on the court. So.
And you both recognize that, along with being an athlete, and you're on a platform, you're a leader, and it goes hand in hand, being a leader, being an athlete. And you've demonstrated that by being involved in leadership groups at Aquinas. Danielle, talk about some of those leadership groups and how you display that kind of leadership.
I think it really helps you get to know people for sure, and just kind of get to broaden your horizons of like what you can do, and especially we have an impact group at our school, and it's really fun just to get involved with the community and just kind of get to see different aspects of it and get to meet new people through it and just kind of lead the way and try to make the community better.
And Megan, your resume displays multiple leadership groups. Identify one of them and what your role is in that group.
Mm-hmm. The one that stands out is probably National Honor Society, and Danielle's a member of that too. And for that one, you have to have a certain academic level as well as like your want to be a leader. And I think that one's really important because it teaches time management as well as helping the community, because you have to be held accountable for your time and you have to document certain hours. So I think it really goes hand in hand with the time management needed for academics and athletics.
Bri, you've had a lot of successful teams. Mm-hmm. Is there anything special, besides you went to state, the first team in the history of Aquinas Volleyball to go to state, was there anything real special about this team that maybe you didn't have in previous teams?
I had a lot of seniors this year that were incredibly dedicated to this sport and this team and this goal. And I've had incredible senior groups in the past, but these 6 girls were just completely dedicated to the idea of we want to be undefeated in conference. We want to win the sectional. We want to go to state. And they were willing to sacrifice anything to get to that goal. And that idea, that motivation just drove the rest of the team, and they really lifted their entire team to where it was.
Well, how challenging was that when you lost in Green Bay at the state tournament? I saw the emotions on TV. What'd you say to your team?
It didn't really seem real. It didn't quite seem real. You knew the season was over, but for so long you had been fighting to be the best in the conference and to get to state, and just the emotional high of the week of knowing that you were going to state and then you were there, and all of a sudden it kind of felt like it was just gone. And I told the team, you still have to just take a moment and look around and realize where you're at. And this moment of feeling sad and terrible is nothing compared to every moment of triumph you've had up until this point. So I told them to take a breath and look around.
And look at the entire body of work. You're exactly right. What's the future of Aquinas Volleyball?
Hopefully more of the same. Looking to rebuild. I'm going to miss this senior group. I'm going to miss having a Mazzola on my team. But we're looking to incorporate new people into our program, into our culture, and continue building and hopefully become a dominant legacy in the area.
Megan, academics, we talked about that. College plans, career plans, where are we going to find you 10 years from now?
My number 1 college choice right now is University of St. Thomas, and I've been talking to their volleyball coach as well, so I'd hope to continue playing volleyball there. I don't quite know what I want to major in yet, but I've hopped around to a bunch of different choices. My choice right now is probably something in business and finance, but I don't know for sure yet.
And Danielle, with your skill level, your size and so on, and your determination, you can play at the collegiate level too. I don't know if that's in your mind or what you plan on doing.
Yeah, my number 1 right now is St. Norbert's up in De Pere. And yeah, I've been talking to their coach, and yeah, I really like it, and I'm really hoping to go there, and I'm looking to major in psychology. We'll see how that goes.
Try to figure out some people in this world. Or what? But there's two teams of lacrosse that probably would like to talk to you. One of them is Viterbo. You ever heard of them? They're pretty good. And UWL is on the rise with their volleyball program. So, but you want to head north and you want to head east, huh?
Yeah, I think I kind of want to get out of the area just a little bit, just to kind of not be so dependent on my parents, just to kind of make myself be more independent. I think I need that.
But if you're like my wife and I, we weren't too anxious to see our kids leave, even though a few of them did, finally came back. But I don't know if your parents are probably as anxious for you to leave as you are.
No, my mom says that St. Norbert's is too far away, even though it's only like 3.5 hours, but she'll have to get used to it.
Yeah.
How about this rapid fire drill? You ready for this?
Yes.
Sure.
What would your, if I asked your teammates to describe you, what would they say?
Well, I would describe Megan as a really uplifting person. I think she always really stays positive, and she always moves on to the next point. She doesn't try. She tries to forget the point before and just moves on to the next one.
Doesn't look in the
rearview mirror.
describe
her. No.
Well, how would your teammates describe you, Megan?
I think they describe me as a leader, because I know personally I always try, like Danielle said, to move on and just to always be constantly talking and trying to give direction to the rest of the team and trying to lead by example of not letting things get to me.
Philosophy of life.
I think you just have to work hard in everything that you do and just have faith that if you try your best in everything, it'll all work out for you in the end.
You have any heroes? Heroes in your life?
I think my parents and my little sister.
They're your heroes?
Mm-hmm.
They inspire you?
Yes.
Any college athletes inspire you?
I mean, the ultimate goal is Lauren Carlini. She's probably the best you can get, I'd say.
With the Badgers?
Mm-hmm.
Favorite class at Aquinas, Megan?
My favorite class is probably English with Mr. Erickson. I don't know. I just feel like I excel in a lot of classes, but I just really enjoy English.
And your favorite class?
I would say...
There's a teacher sitting to your left.
I honestly have to say I enjoy physics, but I think my favorite class would probably be English, too. I have it with a different teacher. I have with Mrs. Dakin, so.
Okay, but there's a lot of good teachers there, aren't there? Hobbies. What do you find you doing on a Sunday afternoon, Danielle?
Either sitting at home doing homework or playing volleyball.
Jeez, that's it, huh?
I know.
Yeah, I always feel like I'm kind of boring because my hobbies are soccer and volleyball, but other than that, probably just hanging out with my family and friends, and yeah.
Good. And Bri, any off season for you, or are you just going to dig yourself right back into coaching at the Viterbo in the leagues, or what are you going to do?
Yep, I coach at the Viterbo club level, and that starts out right now, and that will go until March or April, and then I jump back in with Aquinas in the summer.
Good, good. And so, the future is bright, and we, as we tape the show, we're kind of right near Thanksgiving, so we hope that you can enjoy the Thanksgiving break with your family, and we want to thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having us.
All right. Our guests today, Bri Ebenhoe, and Megan Mazzola, and Danielle Dolan. Well, when we come back, we'll give you some highlights on some basketball games as we open the high school season in the area. We'll be right back.
LASIK surgery at Mayo Clinic Health System.
I can see. I don't have to wear my glasses for driving, to go to the movies, for reading.
And I think it's a wonderful thing to offer people that freedom and independence of lenses, whether they're contact lenses or glasses, to be able to function every day from the morning to the evening and not think about it.
For more information on LASIK surgery, contact Mayo Clinic Health System.
At Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, we have assembled a championship team
who listens to what your needs are.
We install carrier comfort systems that improve the comfort, efficiency, and the air quality of your home and workplace.
We serve you with highly trained technicians who are prompt, friendly, and honest.
For Gold Star treatment, turn to the experts, Carrier and Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning.
Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning. Your comfort is our business.
Welcome back to Seven Rivers Sports. I hope you enjoyed our interview today. The spotlight on the Aquinas Blue Gold, setting all kinds of records this year in high school volleyball. Well, basketball is on our minds here at KQEG as we covered 2 games this past weekend. Art Fahey and Adam Roberts were in Onalaska for a non-conference matchup. The Melrose Medora Mustangs from the Dairyland Conference visiting Joel Babinick and the Luther Knights from the Cooley Conference. The Mustangs came out early, building a 29-12 halftime lead. They continued with a strong second-half offense, scoring 37 points, and were led by freshman Megan Byam with 20 points and 11 rebounds. Sophomore Erica Simmons added 14, and freshman Colette Lockington 17 points. Melrose Medora has won 2 games by an astounding total of 50 points. The Young Knights were led by Caitlin Kennedy with 10 points and freshman Emily Herzberg with 9 and a game-high 12 rebounds. The Mustangs moved to 2-0 while the Luther Knights are still searching for their first win of the season. Rick Wilson and Dawson Strutt were at the Chuck Deeth Fieldhouse and the John Shelton Court for the Onalaska Girls Open, the Hilltoppers versus the Cardinals of Chippewa Falls. New coach Aaron Arneson, his home debut, taking over from Matt Kelleher just a few weeks ago. Onalaska struggled to find rhythm in their offense, resulting in many unforced turnovers, but still took a 23-20 halftime lead. The offense continued to struggle in the second half as Chippewa found its offense outscoring Onalaska by 8 points. Lexi Harley had 19 and Kayleen Givens 12 for new head coach Becca Bestel and her Chippewa Falls Cardinals. Onalaska was led by Taylor Stutley with 10 and Emma Gamoki with 8. Final score, Chippewa 50 and Onalaska 45. Onalaska returns to action hosting West Salem on Friday, December 2nd. Well, I hope you enjoyed this week's show. Next week, we will catch up with head coach Mike Schmidt, UWL Eagles, and talk about the 2016 season. I'm your host, Terry Erickson, hoping that you will have an exciting, restful, and enjoyable Thanksgiving holiday weekend. See you next week here on 7 Rivers Sports.